Greetings, one and all, and welcome back to another Talk Truth Live series. I'm your host, Shanique Davis, and this is Girl Connection. And of course, we're going to have real talk, real people live. Welcome, one and all. I want to invite you all to like and share the video. Say hi, don't be shy. Leave a comment so I can give you a shout out once we do the roll call. And don't forget to subscribe because this is where we'll be able to support our authors, entrepreneurs, people who are life coaching, people who are making impact in this world. Even if you are a singer, songwriter, whatever it is, and you have a story to tell, we are ready to share it. Thank you all for joining us. I want to say thanks especially to all our subscribers, those who continuously watch the replay, those who continuously bring others here so that they too can be impacted by Talk Truth series. I want to also say special thanks to our guest who will be coming on tonight. Very special guest, and she does have indeed a story to tell and something amazing that we overlook all the time. And that is why it's Talk Truth series because we're going to delve into all of that niceness. Yeah, man, and uncover and peel back the layers of the onion and just, keep you refreshed and knowledgeable and entertained. Don't forget that. So before further ado, I'm going to start us off with prayer. And then I am going to tell you who our guest is, which will give you enough time to tell everybody that we're live. And then I'll bring the guest on screen. So let us pray. Father in heaven, we want to thank you for today. God, you are good. Your mercies endure forever. Father, we lift you up. We pray that your name will be glorified, even on this stream. We're about to talk about that part of us that you've given us that we've ignored so ignorantly so many times. But we pray that God, as your speaker comes tonight, you'll bless her. As she opens her mouth, fill it with words. Speak to your people, God, in a very special way and help them to be wise in taking care of this part of their bodies. We ask you now, God, for these and other mercies, and we tell you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So, as per tonight's title, we'll be talking about talk is cheap. And basically, that is the things that we say we'll do, the things that we just talk about for talking's sake, but we never, ever, ever do anything about it. So, who do we have to tell us about it tonight? Is Miss Carrie Thomas, aka Carrie Baby. I'm going to tell you about her. She is a 27-year-old Texas native and a college graduate. She is currently pursuing a master's in social work and working as a care coordinator. She also specializes and she is an advocate for mental health awareness. You notice I'm just pouring that out there. Yes, and her aim and desire also is to bring awareness to persons who need to know more about mental health and to leave a legacy so that others can follow along. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me make welcome tonight the one and only Carrie Thomas.
Hey.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. How about
It's
yourself?
always a pleasure. Yes.
Girl, you had me panicking because I sent the thing to you and I didn't hear from you. So I was wondering what happened or if you'd be able to make it. But I'm so glad
Oh,
that you're
yes. I
here tonight.
apologize, but I know I remember it. July the 29th. I got something to do. I always come together and represent for, my fellow podcasters. And you were also on my show, so that was amazing as well. And I'm glad I'm back here to collab with you and be on your show and with your listeners. So hi, everyone, and thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining. So just tell us a little bit more about yourself, just in case I missed anything. And then we're going to get into why talk is so cheap.
All right. Like Shanique stated, I am the host of Talk is Cheap, none cuts, none censored. And that's just something fun that I named my podcast that focuses on mental health and mental health awareness. I've had topics that have been from talking about like postpartum depression, post traumatic stress disorder. I've had military vets on there that talk about post traumatic stress. I've had moms at home that talk about the different disorders that they've had, anxiety disorder. I've also had a few life coaches this past season that talked about mindfulness. And mindfulness was basically their curriculum that they use to help others strive in their goals. That was telling you to basically be mindful of the things that you do in your everyday life that help you with self-care and your mental health. And it's so great for me to be able to share this topic today, because when me and Shanique set this up, we didn't even know that one of the things that's happening in the world today, in this past week, was that our own Simone Biles, dropped out from the Olympics because of mental health. So I will be speaking a lot about what talk is cheap is, because talk is cheap. And then it's also just about our life experiences and things that we go through, that are, stressful to us, or how we cope with our self-care and our mental health, and how we see things, and that others go through. Me and Shanique did our um, episode about confidence in women today, and how she struggled with the lack of confidence. And I also put in my own thing about how we don't see that this person is happy, this person it has everything, looks like they have everything together, but you never know the thoughts that they're having on the inside, or the struggles or the things that they have experienced in their life, and how they overcome those today. So
Yeah.
I will be focusing in on a lot more about mental health, and telling more about my podcast and what I do as an advocate for mental health, and a mental health social worker and care coordinator. So I'm live from downtown Dallas. And just how it relates to our life today, and like I said, just incorporating what's going on with the Olympics, and how the women are struggling, and how others, how their, Olympians are struggling with their own mental health during their time, because this is supposed to be their job. But you also want your job to be fun. You also want things to come together for you, and you then most likely she wants to, she wants to win, or you want to see your
Yeah.
person win, but you never know what they're dealing with and struggling with. So yes.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because even though I'm here in Jamaica, I have heard of Simone Biles, but
Yes.
I had no idea that she dropped out of the Olympics. I've seen persons posting photos here and there, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
So I guess we can start there. For persons who know Simone Biles, you can just put a raise hand emoji in the comments to let us know. Can you tell us a little bit more about that mental health part? Because a lot of persons, as you said,
Yeah.
are looking at someone's life from the outside,
Yeah.
believing that, because they are this person and they're here, there, and everywhere in the media, they don't have their own mental health struggles. So I want you to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, so I'm really big on celebrities myself, and we always use these binoculars to zoom in on things that's going on in their lives, and use this in everyday lives to say, "Oh, I want to be like," we see the Beyoncés, the Nicki Minaj's, we see Simone Biles, and we use that a lot, to use them in our life to say, "Oh, I want to be like them when I grow up," or "I want to be like them," or even "I want to look like them." So that also messes with a person's mental health, and then things that she's struggling with is something that a lot of us are like, no, we want to see her participate. We want to see Beyonce sing. We want her to get up here and do the best concert. We want Simone to do the best flips that she can. And you don't know that she's dealing with something. A lot of people don't know this about Simone, but she is one of my. I like the Olympics a little bit. I watch the gymnastics. I love to see the divers and everything. But I also stared in on her life, because a lot of people don't even know that over the past month or so, her family has been dealing with their own, not even just mental health issues, but things that they're dealing with physically and mentally, that happened, like something with her brother. I believe he got shot. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I believe that her brother or a close relative got murdered within the last month of before, while she was training for the Olympics, or still in the semifinals. So that's something to deal with. And then also these Olympians are also dealing with that they don't have a crowd to cheer them on. So with that crowd not being there, that can really, boggle them down and feel like they're not being supported enough or not being able to have your favorite person in the crowd. Maybe she does have her mom or dad there or her siblings there supporting her, but maybe she wants grandma there and grandma can't get on that flight to make it because of COVID or because of the restrictions that's going on. So it's just something that's different and we don't know what's in her mind that's going on. And there's been a lot of debate. I'm sure you've seen, Shanique, and listeners, I'm sure y'all seen on your own social media that it's caused a debate between African American women and men. The men are told that they're not being more supportive of what women are going through. They're passive to the subjects of that. Oh, we have mental health, or she's just having a bad day, or she's PMS, and they kind of blow off their wives and girlfriends. Then you come back to say that, oh, now let me do, like I've seen one dude do, let me do my research, and he did his due diligence, and then he took his comments away where he was already proactive in saying, oh, Simone needs to suck it up and get out there, because that's how men think. They want to be strong. They want to give all these characteristics of that. Yeah, she says she's a strong Black woman, so let's present that. And she still tell you, I am strong, but look what's coming. Did you do the research on what's coming at me? Did you do the research on what's being thrown at me as an Olympian? They have named this young lady, she's 24 years old. They have named her not just a four-time gold medalist, but you have also named her one of the best female gymnasts and athletes of the world. So that's
Mhm.
a lot for her to take in,
Yes, it
to not
is.
be supported. And then on top of that, you have judges or other people that have critiqued her and criticized her to say that, oh, yeah, you are the best, but now you're doing stuff that other people can't compete with. I would drop out too,
Mm,
because now she's being held to a higher standard, but in a lower environment. Like
mm.
it's not, make it make sense. And so that's a lot of things that people are not understanding with, going into the mental health side of it, is that can be intimidating for her. And you're saying, well, how can a high paid in athlete be intimidated? This is something that she worked hard for. Yeah, but like I said, go back to the support that she's not getting. And then when you're told to sit up there and say, oh, yeah, be the best that you can be, but you're doing a little bit more than what we expected you to do. And on top of that, Shanique, she's African American. The Black and brown community is always struggling with having to prove themselves as the best person, or having to prove themselves, in her instance, as the best gymnast, as the best athlete. But because, for I'm not offending anybody, but I am a walking disclaimer. But let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, is that not only are we held to that higher standard, but you're also not even seeing what your other Caucasian counterparts and other nationalities are going through to even try to compete with you, and to be told, oh yeah, you're the best, continue what you're doing, but you can't outdo the other ethnicities, on even the ones on her team are not supporting her. And you don't think she should have a problem with mental health? Hey, let me tell you this, guys. If my coworkers do not support me, I have a problem. If I can't come to them, and we don't badmouth our supervisors, we don't say certain stuff. But if I say, "Oh, I'm sick of this job today," and one of them says, "Oh no, don't say that. What's going on?" What I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna talk to them anymore. I'm not
Mm,
gonna say anything around them, because now you're making it look like I'm a liability to my own structure, to my own foundation, and something that I have done for my livelihood. So those are some of the things that I have seen, the debates that have gone on, that have started over a person's mental health.
yeah, and I love the points that you brought up. Even if we're not looking at it from her stance, like from a professional athlete's point of view, we don't know how her human life is going. We don't understand the things that she's feeling.
Exactly.
Because one thing we can never understand unless we're there is the fact that she is in the spotlight a lot of
Yes.
the time. She may not have the privacy that she needs. She may have to be living up to some expectations that are
Mhm.
not that are not necessarily reality. She might
Yes,
be feeling some things that, people would say that that's unprofessional for you to even think or feel a certain kind of way. People
exactly.
don't want her to express herself as a human being. They want to see the superstar. She has
Exactly.
to maintain a certain weight. She has to
Mhm.
maintain a figure. I remember I was listening to her talk in an interview once because I used to watch the Olympics.
Yes.
A couple months ago I was watching, and
Mhm.
she said that once upon a time she was very insecure about her body. And what you
Mhm.
said, she's 24. She
Yep.
has this mantle to carry of being a four-time Olympic gold medalist. She
Yep.
has to be the best. And being the best takes a lot of time and effort because
Yes.
she has to be constantly growing. She has to have a certain mindset. And then there comes the pressure of people expecting more.
Yep.
So we cannot blame her for actually breaking down or even dropping out. We will never understand.
Mhm.
Maybe one day she can write about it. Maybe one day she'll talk. But this whole mental health thing, people are struggling, and especially in this COVID time. That's why I appreciate the
Yes.
points that you brought out. Tell us more about how this mental health affects other
Yeah.
people.
Yes, the question I've been waiting for. I went on this whole monologue about what, athletes and Olympians are struggling with and what's going on in the world today. But let's zoom in on, mental health, like Shanique said. So she wants to talk about mental health, guys. So mental health, just going over the basis, is an emotional, psychological, and social well-being. We're always dealing with things on a very, emotional level. And like somebody said in the comments, we live in a selfish world. Yes, we do. Totally
Yeah.
agree. I feel like everything is always taken so personally, and also just taking so selfishly, and not only that, with feelings. People deal a lot with emotions as, oh, they hurt my feelings, or they just jump on the bandwagon of a lot of things. And like I said, I always like using celebrities. There was a few rappers that went to the concert in Miami, the Rolling Loud concert tour, and he made some comments about, homosexuals and some things. He screamed out a few things. This comment was taken so broadly over, like, it was taken so, like, oh my God, why would he say that? And everybody trended it and jumped on this bandwagon. And it's like, were you there? Were you offended by it? What was going on? And not only that, you understand we're not justifying what he said. In no means do I agree, because he shouldn't scream it. He could find some other stuff to scream out to get the crowd hype or whatever he want to say. But at the same time, you're battling with somebody's freedom of speech, their net worth, and then also what you want and what you believe, and that's making you feel comfortable in your everyday life. And the things that were said, I won't go verbatim, they can look it up. But the things that were said we're taking where some, people in the LGBTQI community, a community, said that, heterosexual men took it very offensively. And then there were some that said, well, what y'all mad for? That's what y'all, that's what you do, in the same community. So that also just, that just runs into how they're taking a toll and they're feeling with emotions about what was done to them, and then trying to bring this man down. So now you're taking away his freedom of speech of what he even said. And he was intoxicated and all this other stuff, and he probably don't even remember what he said. you know
Yeah, and that really will affect his mental health.
exactly. So it's just a lot of things within, emotions that this world is moving around. And when I get more into, I will get more into the mental health and the statistics, and how everybody is, even if you don't think you're dealing with something, you are. And I used what the rappers' comments was, and how people took it so emotionally and so selfishly to say that they were being targeted as a population. And like I said, to take him down is that that's affecting, their mental health because they're not satisfied with themselves. And they took that comments and they take things so offensively to say, oh, he's wrong. He shouldn't say that to us. He needs to be more considerate. But then if you roll back the tapes to what I said about Simone, were you being considerate? Did you take that? Did you jump on that bandwagon of understanding what was going on with her? So that's just a little bit.
Yeah,
So
I get you.
mental health affects how you think. So we talked about thought, how you feel. We talked about feelings, and how you act upon things and how you act around other people. It also helps you determine how we handle stress, how we relate to others, and how we make choices. Mental health is very important in the stages of life. Your mental health is always changing. And this just doesn't focus on, what we call like bad mental health or, negative factors. This is about positive things too. You can have positive mental health. Just saying that you're happy and waking up and seeing the sun is a positive thing for your mental health and your self-care.
Yeah.
But then always like to focus on being negative.
Yes, for real. And I know I read something about you being a social worker and
Yeah.
pursuing a master's degree in that field. What are some of the trends that you've noticed in your profession as it relates to mental health? What people are, as in what people are taking lightly that should be taken more seriously?
I think right now we're in a time of that social justice needs to be taken seriously. Like I said, I'm all about equality, but let's be equal across the board. Like I've given, tons of examples. Like I say, I love these celebrities as a highlight because their life is highlighted.
Yeah.
And that's how we see ourselves. And then, like I said, they're just up on a big screen to say, oh, I've done stuff like that in my everyday life. I done said some things I shouldn't have said, or I didn't heard somebody say some of the things, but it always our battle to fight that. So if you say that we're supposed to have freedom of speech, if you say that we're supposed to be equal in this world and be united, then how are you having things like racism that's still going on for over years? How are you having, putting a spotlight on a certain sexuality? How are you taking away from, the in this in
All right,
women?
keep
How are you
coming.
taking away from those things and saying, well, oh, well, let's understand what's going on or how things are taken lightly, So that's one of my biggest thing. We always talk about different social issues, and then that refers to our ethnic code as social workers. So there's always social justice, human services, um, different equalities. Then it's always, goes into like families, children and families, and humanities. And that's just like a few of our ethics that we go by, but it's always being asked, how can we improve these things in the world? How can we focus on that? And I just always say, do what we do. If you feel like you have a voice, tell your voice. You never know. Like I said, this world operates on bandwagons. You never know who would be behind you and
Mm-hmm.
be on your movement. I always, like Shanique has heard me say millions of times, talk is cheap. It's not just a podcast. I call it a journey. I call it a movement. I call it all these different things because it is our way of our world. Our voice is something that we have that cannot be taken away from us. And so once you do the things that you need to do, and we always say do it intelligently. And you do have to, the world you live in, you do have to watch certain things that you say, and how things are portrayed. But at the same time, when you got a good head on your shoulders and your mental health is intact and your self-care is intact and you educate yourself with factual information about the things that you want to discuss, people will take you seriously and they will support you in that. And I think that's a lot to deal with mental health is that people that are mentally ill or people that have even good mental health, we always want somebody in our corner that supports us and that's there for us. Even when we say to go receive help, I wouldn't know to go receive help or how to ask for help if I didn't have somebody like Shanique to let me know, or if I didn't have my mother that said come, that had an open door to say come talk to me, or if I didn't have a sister that says come, come sit down and talk to me. If I didn't have a father that said, hey, you're not looking too good today. What's going on? Because that goes off in your head to say maybe I am having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something is going on. Maybe something isn't right. So
Yeah.
it's just everything that aligns into mental health is more important. And now I'm becoming mentally aware. And then it's also the mental health in my surroundings. Did I grow up in a good family? Am I doing okay on this job? How are people around me in my surroundings in my village affecting me? And the things that's going on? Are they going to see? A lot of times you see a woman put on makeup, but she put on her makeup to mask how she's feeling and to do it for herself, or she's masking how someone else sees her and views her to cover up. What does makeup cover up? Or does it highlight the skin tones, or is it things that's going on? I see my friends look good, but are they putting on their makeup to for them to say, "Girl, you look good," or to meet that man? It's different things of why a person will put on makeup. Or has she been sobbing? Has she been crying? Has she been going through something that we don't even know about? But she's going to put on that makeup today to build confidence or to hide what's behind that.
Yeah. And it's all about our awareness. And I really love that you read my mind, because I was going to ask you, how did you tie mental health into talk is cheap? But you already answered. So, my final concern to you, Miss Carrie, is what do you wish that more people knew about mental health?
I just wish that people knew more about like understanding themselves. And when I say that, I know it didn't sound like a lot, but it's just knowing who you are. And like you read in my bio, just being the best version of yourself. I'm always promoting self love and self care. And that means getting to know yourself, get to know why, the simplest things of why you're not happy today. Why are you, what makes you happy? What makes you angry? What are your triggers? And that's a lot of things that goes into mental health, and I just thinking about some of the positive things in mental health. It says people realize their full potential, need to realize their full potential in life. Excuse me. They need to realize their full potential in life. And that just means what are some of the things? I keep a lot of lists. I'm a Cancer, y'all. July has been my month, my party month. But
Okay.
I'm a very planned person. I know we have astrology just for the fun things. Any sign lovers out there, I do love zodiac signs. But that also goes into different personalities. Yeah, we match all sign, but why is your sign particular or significant to you? But that also can be incorporated to mental health to say that you need to know who you are and just know your personality, know who you can be around, know the good things that you do, know the bad things that you do, and they don't really say bad, they say more of like weaknesses
Yeah.
that you're having, and just live your life to your full potential. Do things that you want to do things that you didn't even think you could do, overcome those fears. And like I say, I keep a lot of lists. I write down short-term goals, I write down long-term goals, I plan trips for fun. It's just different things. And I'm not saying be like me by all means, no, because we're all not,
It's
not
just all
perfect.
part of your whole
Yeah,
mental
but
health journey.
strive to be perfect and strive to create your own journey and find what works for you.
Yeah.
And then also on that positive mental health, always find ways to cope. I feel like a lot of people, I share with Shanique, over our time of knowing each other, that I'm in a bunch of groups. But a lot of those groups are, some of them are business groups, some of them, are some fun other groups. And then I'm also in a few mental health, groups, and these groups are like on Facebook. So they have like mental health matters groups, they have borderline personality groups. And a lot of times I look at those groups, not even just for content, but to be a voice for those people and be an ally for them and be an advocate that they're being heard, that they're just not blogging in some group about that they had a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving that encouraging voice. You never know how you can give one comment and it changed somebody's life or change somebody's day. Um, and I always feel like a lot of times when I'm reading some of these, one lady told me one time that she coped with drinking. She was like, I'm about to go drink myself. Thanks for what y'all said. And I just was like, no, because I feel like, as a mental health advocate, I feel like once you have put in that comment in that group or, reached out to that friend, you wanted help. You seek
Mm-hmm.
some type of help for things that you were going through. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
said find you a different way to cope. Find some different ways. Journaling is always good. Find a hobby that you have to like. I even had to find my own hobbies as well. And that's why I did get into podcasting because it's very therapeutic for me. And I've said that plenty of times. But it is, I always love to talk. So why not talk about something that can change my life and change somebody else's life, and help others and meeting new people. It's like I said, it's always been a pleasure to meet people like Shanique in Jamaica. I've met people in Australia, and this is all over via Zoom, but we've also planned in our life to, even if it's 5, 10 years from now,
Yeah.
to meet each other and to see each other in person. It would be great, if I can fly to Jamaica and be like, hey, Shanique. And we're going to talk about that. But, it's just different things in your life that you have to do. It's like, and I see somebody said, like, set aside from life that you want to put that comment.
Yeah. Aside from the life that they have to live for themselves, they have to put this whole image before society. Sometimes it's not even, but their true identity,
Yeah.
but have to put on a show. We have so many.
Yes.
Some persons only reach out to you when they want something from you, and when you're looking to see them, nowhere to find them. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and I agree with both of you guys, and those are amazing. And I want to just kind of piggyback off of you guys in the comments because y'all did spring something off in my head about just having that person that you can trust, having that person that you can depend on, and that's not seeking anything from you. I think a lot of times in this world, I always say we're a tough generation. The times we're living in are tough. They're a little flustered. They're a little cloudy because of
Mhm.
the things that we don't know. It was times from like if you hear, and I call them the good parents. If you hear your parents talk about back in the day, they always reminisce about back in the day. And you wonder why. Why are we always talking about old stuff? Or I feel my dad, I've heard this 1,000,005 times. Well, that's his happy place. That's where his mind takes him. That's where his mental health takes him. That's what is self-care for him because that's when he was at his best,
Yes.
you know? And it's just something that he's seen in these times that it's not necessarily that he doesn't like living. You should love living and continue to live and make something worth it, worth your life. But it's just about those were some of the best memories, and he was at that was a time that he can go back to that he probably did some of the wildest things, but he was fit. He feel like he looked good. He feel like he had a good job back then. He feel like that was the time of his life, and those were memories that felt, that helped him cope, that helped him. And then in this time, you compare it back to this time now, like I said, he likes the present day. He's living life, he's making new memories, but he sees a change in the way that he has to do things and live his life. He can't send me, and when I was a kid, he can't send me over to the neighbor's house and know I'm going to be fed for the day and return me back home. Not saying they were lenient in those days, but they'd be like, hey, so and so can watch these kids, and we was good. Then now, in this day and time, don't you go to Mr. So and so house because he's not the person for you, you know?
Mhm.
So it's just a different time that we live in.
Yes. Things and times have changed indeed.
Yes, and it's a lot of things that people don't understand about what a person is going through or why they have changed during these times.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things that people don't understand about someone's mental ability or how
Yes.
they can change. Say, oh, they were just fine yet the other day or a few days ago. Now look at her.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to you? And then we ask that question like all nonchalantly, what's going on with her? You were just happy a few days ago. Now what's wrong? Like it's a problem. And so would a person like have to want to come to you? If I came to you, Shanique, and I said, what's going on with you? You'd be like, first, look at your face. Watch your tone, and learn how to conduct yourself and be that person that somebody. So we talked about the person that needs to tell, but now are you that person that someone can talk to
Mm-hmm.
or confide in? So
Yeah.
you're the person that you're building the person in your mental health that, oh, now we convince you to tell your story. Come tell us what's going on with you. Even if it's good, it's good or bad mental health. You can even just tell somebody, oh, I'm having a very good day today.
Yeah. A lot of these
Are you
things
that
kind of
person?
kind of happen internally. So that's why when we see people acting up, being all crazy, we say, "Oh, they've lost it,"
Yeah.
or "What's wrong with you?" Like you just said, "What wrong with you? How we are being so far?"
Yes.
As you say in Jamaica, "Where you going so far?" And I mean, your problem, sir.
Yeah.
Just calm down. But these are a lot of things that people internalize
Yes.
before they manifest. So mental health really does affect people all around the world.
Yes, it does.
Let me see if we have any more comments because I think I missed a lot of them.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Also, they don't have to share. All right. I always see some celebrity post a picture and consult people, and a normal person post a picture with something positive. 8 to 10 like it. I am done. People like to share in people's success, not in people's development process to success. And that's a
Yes.
possible reason why there is a breakdown, even in the celebrity world.
Yes.
Most of them have mental health challenges, and I think that this is what causes a lot of it. And as they said earlier, the selfishness in the world. So talk is cheap. You can invite
Yes.
Leandra and Tashari Nicholson. They be a good guest. Oh, that's so nice. And
Oh,
they love
thank
to
you so
talk.
much.
Let me just put that
Yes,
out
I'll be
there. They
glad to
talk.
have you guys.
I'm not the talker, but they listen, you would love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it on mental health and talk is cheap. Basically, you're saying that it takes nothing for you to speak. It takes nothing for you to use the voice that you have and advocate for your health. Because when you internalize the things that are affecting you and you don't expose it to the world, then that's when it becomes an illness. That's when it becomes a serious problem. That's when it hampers the potential that you have to be
Yes.
the best you. You can't be the best you if you don't talk, if you
Yeah.
don't express yourself, if you don't advocate for your health.
Yes, and I always just say that, Shanique was listening now. But no, I always say just to find out, we even dumbed it down to just finding that one person that you can
Mhm.
confide in. Yes, it would be a lot for one person. You just pouring out your heart all day now. But some people do just have that one, that one supportive person that they can call up and talk to. And people always have their doors open, for finding new friends or finding people to talk to. Like I said, it doesn't have to be necessary. We like to focus a lot on the negatives when we can focus on positives. And then also something that forgot to mention that all of us can relate to as well. A lot of times in our community, we were taught, and like I said, I bring up, comparing the past and the present now because things are so open now. But back in the day, it was things that you said, oh, don't tell the son so that, or don't share this, don't share this with them, or nothing's wrong with you. You just look crazy. You'll go to sleep. You'll wake up and be fine. you know. And now it's things, now we live in a world where you should be able to talk, everybody else is, come on. You know, we ain't no, so you haven't said nothing that we haven't heard before, you know. And then there's a lot more resources, there's always something good, you know, with the times changing and things moving on. They're not necessarily, like I said, I'm focused on negatives, but there's a lot of people that are, you know, I'm not the only social worker out there in the world now, not the only person that's doing a podcast, not the only counselor that's out there. So there's a lot of people that are always looking, you know, and seeking, and they have a passion for helping people, and being there with them is just something, you know, that you never know can change your life. And it's always telling you to, you know, not saying that excuse me, not saying that if you have a, oh, thank you so much. Not saying that if you have a, you know, mental illness like schizophrenia and bipolar and major depressive, that you will be recovered, fully recovered. No, you're not ever fully recovered. But there's something, you know, not even just pushing medication on you, but there's something that's, there's someone out there to help you. There's mental health agencies. There's, you know, if you're homeless, there's homeless shelters, you know, in your own community, in the community near you, you know, in the world, that somebody can help you. And then even in my everyday job today, being a care, you know, my actual title is the one I gave you, the care coordinator. But a little bit about what I do is I take the mental health calls, you know, with 911, and I refer them to resources. Or there's even sometimes I have to talk that person off the ledge that is suicidal, that is having a, you know, an episode, or hearing the voices, or the voices are telling them to do bad things, you know. And there's resources out there for them. And there's a lot of times that I've had to even transfer some people to keep my mental health and sanity to the suicide hotline, to where it's somebody that's there, that it's their job, they have the passion for that, they applied for it, you know, and they're skilled in, not even just skilled in training, but they're there to comfort you and to talk to you. And even if you're not suicidal, or you just having depressed or feeling down a day, you can still get in contact with that national hotline. A lot of times on my podcast, I put those numbers, important hotline
Yeah.
numbers, at the end, as a mental health resource for everyone, for people that, you know, are mentally sane, like myself and Shanique. You know, you never know when we ticking time bombs. Now, but you
Yeah.
know, just for anybody that's watching, I don't stereotype my show just to one person, or say, oh, you can't watch this, or this content is for you. You never know what topics and things, or what's going, like we started off saying, we never know what's going on in, you know, a Simone Biles life, or in your life personally, that you can't take from the content that we present, or things that's going on in this world, how you can relate to that. Somebody's going to get something out of everything that you talk about. And then I know we're wrapping up. I just want to about mental health. So mental health problems are actually very common. 1 in 5 American adults experience a mental health issue. 1 in 10 young people experience a period of major depression. And then 1 in 25 Americans live with a serious illness such as schizophrenia, bipolar, or major depression. So I'm just gonna leave you guys with that.
Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that, Carrie. I did actually learn tonight that mental health, no matter who you are and where you are in the world, it is important, and it's important for you to find ways to cope. We're not short of resources, we're not short of people like you in the world who
Yeah.
actually care, and we are not short of the voice. Even if
Yes.
you can't verbalize or vocalize, there's sign language, there's braille, there is other means and ways that you can express yourself and find ways to cope. So we
Yes.
thank you for that. And don't think you've gotten away. I'm not sure if you've been looking at the other people who have been here, but you still have 10 questions to answer. So
Oh,
I don't know who you were wrapping up for.
okay.
Yes, so I have 10 questions, and my
Okay.
friend Genesis actually introduced this on Talk Truth Series while she was co-hosting.
Yes, that's great. And yes, shout out to Genesis. We love her.
Yeah.
That's one of our mutual friends as well on both of our
Yes.
shows.
All right. So,
Hold on, Shanique. Before we start those questions, you guys, I just real quick. Shanique has the scrolling bar. I know some of the people in the comments want to collab with me as well, but she has the scrolling bar for my Instagram info for my. I do have a clothing line business, which is Lexo Fashion. That's on there, and then you can add me on the. She's been tagging Talk is Cheap and my Miss Carrie Baby Facebook page, where you can add me,
yes.
and those are both used for business only and podcast information.
Yeah. So all of it. Well, the rest, if it's not in here, it's in the description.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So take a deep breath and get ready for 10 questions with Mary.
This is
All right. So
great.
it's just so that persons can get to know that human side of you.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is, if you could be an actress, who would it be?
If I could be an actress, who would I be? I would be Angela Bassett.
Oh, girl, why so many people talking about Angela Bassett? I know
Right.
she's a great
I don't know. I
actress.
want to do the part in Waiting to Exhale. I think I could throw some fire on the cart now. And then she's aging like fine wine. She's one of our
Yes.
wonderful black queens out there. She's in her 60s. She looks amazing, amazing husband, amazing family. She's really strong, and she's also advocate for many organizations across the world.
Oh, okay. Good to know. If you could be a fruit, what would it be?
If I could be a fruit, I'd be a pineapple.
What was
I
it
don't have
again?
an explanation for that. I like
Wearing a
pineapple.
crown. Okay, okay. I thought it was the one that they said you are sweet on the inside and you wear a crown, something like
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
that. All right. Laughter is my superpower. What is yours?
The passion, how can I say it? The passion and desire to help others. Always
Okay.
been a helpful person.
All right. Favorite color?
I'm really kind of tedious about different things.
Okay.
So I have many favorite colors. I have four.
Okay.
My
So
car is
anything that
red,
works.
so red,
Okay.
black, and green and white Christmas color.
I can't. I'm done. So Christmas, you are most excited because you get to
Yes,
express
yes.
all of the colors, right? I get you.
And then I have on black right now. I wear a lot of black.
Okay. Okay. Favorite self-care tip?
Sleep. Go to sleep.
Oh,
Yes. And then
girl.
I can add meditate. But don't the hard thing about meditating is don't fall asleep. So yeah. No.
Oh, because it's so relaxing.
Yes, it can be really relaxing. I do try to meditate, every morning. There's been times where like I have smart TVs have screensavers. So I wouldn't even turn on the TV. I just let the screensaver go, and that's my time to debrief for that morning. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or sometimes I just find myself like, hey, I didn't even turn on the TV today. So that was good to me. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that. Okay. What's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby is like I don't know. I don't really I have hobbies, but right now I just been business venturing. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Business venturing.
Yeah,
Do you?
entrepreneurship is
Yeah.
it's my
All right. It's the way of the world now, because we
yes,
are seeing more and more that do have a lot that we can do for ourselves, and
yes.
so we're doing it. Um, do you have a favorite joke? If not,
No, I don't have a favorite joke.
okay, just checking.
I
Just
like
check.
to laugh, but I don't have a favorite joke.
I find that a lot of people do, or you probably can't remember a
We'll do
favorite
like favorite
joke.
comedian. Let's change on like favorite
Okay,
comedian.
all
My
right.
favorite comedian is like nowadays Kevin Hart, and then
Mhm.
if I have to do like back in the day, I love Family Feud, so Steve Harvey. Like I love Steve Harvey.
What about Dave Chappelle?
Yes, I love Dave Chappelle too.
All right, girl. Favorite food or thing to cook?
Before I am vegetarian now, but before I was vegetarian, I always that was that person to say, "Hey, I'm Carrie Thomas, and I love chicken. I love chicken." Now I've been vegetarian for 8 months.
Mm.
It's been a long 8 months. No, it's been great. And I love cauliflower and black beans.
Wow. Why vegetarian?
Just like I said, I'm always trying something different. And then a healthier lifestyle. I don't consider it a diet; it's a lifestyle change.
Okay, I understand. All right.
Yes, and I
Do
may
you?
revert back. No, no.
Because I'm saying for somebody who, how do you stand not eating chicken? But like you said, you're being intentional about a healthier
And like
lifestyle.
I say, it's like in this world, things are just open, and like I say, you don't focus on negatives, you add positives. A lot of things are open, for the better or changing for the better. So a lot of places, even your favorite restaurants, are having more vegan options, and or saying, hey, you can just like do completely no meat at all, and then you can consider something else. But
Yeah.
I never was really big on like the eggs and all that stuff anyway.
Okay.
So
All
it was
right.
kind of a fairly easy transition. I basically just consider, like I said myself, like no meat. Never really was like a milk lactose person. And then I learned that they have like different types of vegetarians too. So
Yeah.
you say vegetarian, don't say vegan. They will,
Yeah. Vegan.
vegans will try to come get you. Peta, shout out to y'all.
All
No.
right. So
But
many
yeah, I'm
different kinds.
vegetarian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. I think I learned about it in school, so I get what you mean. You want to do better, so
Yes, yes. Just a clean,
you,
clean eating.
do you have a favorite song? If not, can you sing?
I can't sing, so I'm going with favorite song. Right now, I like what song do I like? Oh wow. Oh, Bruno Mars, the
Which one?
the new one. Leave the door open.
Okay, I don't think. I think maybe I've heard it.
Hey, what you doing? See, now you don't say.
Oh, that's
Where you
Bruno
at?
Mars.
Yeah.
What?
Bruno Mars, Anderson Paak, and the Silk Sonic
I
people.
am so far behind on this thing. I mostly listen to gospel and gospel reggae these days. How
Okay, yeah.
I did not even realize
Your
it was
favorite
a
gospel
group.
singer, Tasha Leonard Cobbs.
Huh? And
Yes,
she's a new mama now.
yes, I love her. Like me and y'all, I'm a puppy mom too. So me and my dog have gospel breaks. Don't think I just be listening to rap and
Okay.
R&B. But I love Tasha
Interesting.
Cobbs, and I've seen her in concert too. It was amazing.
Yeah. One of these days I'm gonna see her. I think she was here before. I think she was here 1 year
Hmm.
for one of the biggest gospel concerts we had.
Oh
It was a
wow.
reggae concert, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it was in Jamaica or somewhere.
Yeah, I think she was here once. Um, and get ready for my last question.
Okay, number
And
10.
it's my favorite. Blame Genesis when you're done, okay? That's
Okay.
all her. um, Carrie Thomas, please give us your best Caribbean accent. Mm, 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 mm,
Let's go down to the island, man. How you doing? And then I got the hair, I got the dress.
Listen,
For you.
shake them locks, girl. This
No, no, no. Here,
clapper,
look, we got
guys.
another one. Let's hit the ocean floor.
Very good attempt. Very, very good attempt. I've I think I've heard something similar to that in what's it? Animated movie called Shark Tale with those two
Yes.
looking what do you call them? Octopuses.
Hmm.
Yeah man, they were singing Bob Marley, don't worry.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Listen, that was like my favorite
Yes.
part out of the whole thing. Every time I watch something and I see a little bit of like
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up. I have plans to come that way. Come after if
okay.
I can get a pass
Oh,
You need a passport.
Girl, you was coming here?
Hmm. Need a passport though. They over here got 16 weeks for some paper.
Okay. All right. Just send me a message and let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the end of it. I really loved your attempt for the Caribbean accent. You got it better than a lot of other people. The last person I
Yeah.
asked, I believe, he cursed one of those Jamaican words that we don't
Oh.
say. Yeah. He didn't know. And that was hilarious because he didn't
Oh, well, he didn't know.
know. I've heard this word.
Yeah. Oh
It
boy.
was crazy, but I want to thank you for coming out tonight. Do you have any last words of encouragement or anything that you would love
Yes,
for the
last
viewers to take
remarks.
away?
Yes, you guys, like we said, this has been great. It's always been an honor talking to Shanique. And like I said, my information is down there for you guys to also follow me. And we will be collabing in the future. We check on each other every now and then. We build a friendship over these things and a support system, being fellow podcasters as well. And then also, like I said, find your Zen. I'm always big on Zen. Find something positive in your life. Find something that you like to do. Find good supportive people in your corner, in your village. It's different things, and it's where they say it takes a village to raise. With those old quotes, but just if you're struggling with anything, know that you're not alone, and find somebody because you're not the only one that's going through things. I know a lot of times I sit back and always think, man, this is rough, but then I look around, I'm like, oh wait, I'm not the only one that's 27 with no kids, no. Or I'm not the only one that's going through a tough time today. But every time I see my certain coworkers or I do something good at my job, that's satisfying to me. So find something that makes you satisfied as well.
Yes. All right. I love that advice. And I want to thank you again for joining Talk Truth Series Girl Connection. It was really good having you here. You brought some eye opening details to us, and we appreciate the information. Guys, don't forget to check out Carrie's YouTube channel, Talk is Cheap, her boutique on Instagram. All of that is in the description.
Yeah.
Thank you all again for joining us tonight. This has been Talk Truth Series, Real Talk, Real People Live. See you all next week, Tuesday, for another chat with another guest. Have a great weekend, everyone, and thank you for coming.
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye.